Sam here with your weekend MCO special. How are you guys doing? So, today we're going to be talking about big fish. Well, before we get to the big fish though, let's talk a little bit about this really cool thing, this really cool phenomenon called solar flares. Okay? So, why are solar flares so important? Well, that's because they're really cool. See, every now and then there will be a sudden explosion on the sun, because the sun's important. You kind of need it. So every now and then there'll be a big bang on the sun. Okay, it will explode and it will cause a bright light. I'm sure it causes a big sound as well, but thankfully we can't hear it because otherwise we probably all go deaf. But what we can do is we can see it, right? And we can also detect another thing. So from this big explosion comes a lot of energy, and this energy comes in the form of radio waves. Radio waves? Yeah. So these will take some time, a couple of days, travel to the Earth. So luckily the Earth has, you see there's got a bit of sunglasses there. Okay, so what happens during solar flares is we have noticed that there is a disruption to our long distance radio waves. Okay, because what these radio waves that come from the sun do is they are powerful enough that they can penetrate our upper atmosphere and they can cause auroras. Okay, and it can knock out some of our communication. All right, so solar flares are cool and all, but really, what's the big deal? Well, have you heard of the phenomenon of whales beaching themselves? When they want to get a bit of a suntan, they swim over to the beach and they go bam on the beach. With all those, with all the other people just lying there, chilling out, in the bathers on the beach. Okay, so every now and then the whales do that. They will beach themselves. Okay, so it's slightly inconvenient and not a very nice sight because these whales basically get stuck. They're beached is, bro. They're beached is. Okay, and they basically they're fish or they're mammals, but they live in the water, so they kind of need the water to survive. So yeah, of course, if left on the beach, they will eventually die. Right, which is not a fun thing. Okay, so why? So people have asked often, why have these whales done this? Are they all crazy? Are they suicidal? Because they do them in droves. They all come along and they go, no. Are they just trying to be close to you? Maybe. So you should go visit them often. So what happens is, in the event that none of the whales are rescued by us, I guess, because we appear to be the only ones who can push them back into the water. I don't think nature caters for this particular occurrence, unfortunately. But yeah, so if humans don't shove them back and get them back in the water, they will die, which is sad. But so the question that we are left with is why? Why do these big mammoths of the ocean? Why do they do that? Okay, so it appears that we have an explanation now. The explanation is this baby. Okay, these solar flares. Whenever there is a solar flare, right, it disrupts the whales. Okay, so how does it disrupt the whales? Okay, so let's talk a little bit about the whales. Okay, so the whales, we have found whales, like certain animals, like birds. It's just a big fat fish. Okay, so yeah, whales, and like birds. So they have an internal compass, right? So they use certain proteins, certain chemicals in their body that can detect magnetic fields. Okay, so that they have evolved to be able to detect that. Okay, so for birds, it is in their eyes, they have a very special, they're very pretty eyes. But yes, they also have a They have a protein that lets them detect our Earth's magnetic field, so they know which direction to fly in. Okay, so that they don't migrate in the wrong direction. Because if it's cold, they don't want to keep going to the colder places. They want to go down where it's warmer. Okay, that's where it's better. Okay, so what is down, right? What is south? Okay, so birds know, and so do the whales. Okay, so they have an inner mechanism that allows them to know which way is what. Okay, so think of it like this. It's like their internal GPS. Okay, so these days we all have our little phones. So the whales are no different. So they've got their own mobile phones. GPS. Turn left, go straight. That kind of thing. Okay, so what happens is that when the solar flare occurs over in the sun, far away, it sends out those radio waves that I mentioned. Okay, and it spoils their little mobile phone. Okay, so then they get very confused. They go, and they go, oh, well, I guess I don't know which way I'm supposed to go now. Okay, so you would think, hey, you're not a dumb animal. You've got eyes and other senses, right? Surely, and smell and sonar, whatever, right? So surely you can tell if there is a beach in front of you. You don't go there, right? Okay. So then that leads us to another point. So have you ever been seasick before? So we're humans. We're seasick. You're sitting on a boat, and you're like, I don't feel so well. Okay. So why is that? Why do we get seasick? There's a question for you. Why seasick? Okay. You see, or even if you're sitting in a car, has it ever occurred to you? You're sitting in a car and it's going just down the highway, and presumably you're looking at your mobile phone screen, and you start to feel not so good. Okay. Why? So why is that? Why do we get car sick? Why do we get seasick? Okay. That's because there is this phenomenon of discordant senses. Okay. So what happens is that our brain gets kind of messed up, because there are different inputs. So there is, of course, the ears. So you get an input from your ears, right? Inside your ears are little things called otoliths. Okay, that kind of tell you, if you're stationary, if you're upside down, if you're going forward or backward. Okay, and then there are, of course, your eyes. Okay, your eyes, nice eyes. Okay, so you see, right? So you see that you are moving forward or moving up or down, right? But your ears don't know that. Okay, so your ears are like, oh, what's happening? We're stationary. Why are we moving? Okay, that's why you get car sick. That's why you get seasick. Okay, well, it's one of the main factors, right? It's your brain, your poor little brain inside this little jar, getting all confused. Like, what? Are we moving? Are we not moving? Why are we moving from side to side? I thought we were moving forward. Okay, and then it's because of that your brain suddenly goes, guys, emergency, right? Okay, and it sends out spider senses, and then you throw up. Blur. Oh, that's like blood. Oh, sorry, that's a bit disturbing. Let's make it it's called blur. Let's bring out the rainbow. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's why you spew. Okay. Because your body goes, oh no, it's an emergency. Empty the bowel contents. Empty it. Right. Okay. So back to the main point. So imagine you are a whale. Okay, this is you. You're a big whale. Big whale. Sorry, I'm not calling anyone like that. This is just how they are. Okay. Imagine you are a nice, well-shaped proportioned whale. Okay, and you're just going about your business. All right, you're trying to navigate. Okay, your little GPS. Okay, so the GPS is telling you, go straight. Go straight. Just go straight. Okay, but in front of you is this beach. Okay, with nice palm trees and stuff. Oh dear, that's not a great palm tree. Okay, coconuts. Okay, so what happens is, the eyes say, oh, I see a beach. I should probably not go there. GPS goes error, solar flare. Okay, and then the other sensors are going, ooh, I smell a barbecue. There's a barbecue food. Barbecue. Okay. Right. So you have a lot of different sensors that are telling you different things. So imagine, like, if you want to think of it this way, imagine you're on a road, right? So you got to do a lot of imagination now, right? Okay. So on the one hand, your sight tells you that this silly kangaroo is very far away. Okay, so he's not gonna get in your way. Okay, hello. All right, but suddenly you hear the sound of a kangaroo that appears to be right next to you. Okay, and you go like, oh my God, there's a kangaroo! I gotta swerve. All right, and then you swerve and you hit a tree. Okay, so same thing. The whales are apparently going, well, I see the land, and it's still far away, but oh my goodness, I hear these like really loud sounds coming from like beside me, and I smell the barbecue, and the barbecue smells like it's right over there on my right, so I should go right, and then whoops, they end up on the beach. Okay, right? So yes, that's it in a nutshell, pretty much. I'm sure there are other factors at play. But yeah, that's one of the reasons why whales beach themselves, because they're just a little bit disoriented. And as you know, whales travel together, so one guy led the other. So that's why you should always pay attention to the real world and not only on your GPS. Okay, guys. Moral of the story: the GPS is not 100%. And there have been cases of people like driving off cliffs and stuff because they were following their GPS. Yes, it happens. So again, remember, GPS is not everything. Don't blindly follow the GPS. Trust your senses. Okay? And remember to trust the right one. Okay? So, like us humans, we get confused sometimes. The sound sounds like it's coming from behind us, but our sight tells us it's in front. So I guess as humans, we rely very much on visual. But some other animals, like dogs and cats, maybe their visual is not so strong, so they rely on the sense of smell, right, and hearing. So yeah, so I guess the point is that whales aren't like stupid; they're not fully stupid. Okay, they're pretty clever, I think. I like to think. Okay, so so how does that help us? It doesn't really help us. How does it help the whales? Right. So whenever we detect disturbance in the forest, in the sun. Then maybe it's time that we pay attention to, those wandering whale pods. Because, the last thing we want to do is end up with our beaches full of barbecued whale blubber. Yes, we don't want that, do we? Okay. All right. So yeah, there you go. It's just a bit of fun. Okay. All right, that's all for me. Hope you guys have a fun Saturday, fun in the sun. Actually, it's really gloomy today, isn't it? Okay. Have a good day, and Sam out.